Ever heard of a jungle that brought an entire empire to its knees? No, this isn't a fantasy movie. It's the incredible true story of the Darien Gap, the stretch of rainforest so wild, so dense, and so utterly untamed that it defeated one of history's most powerful colonial forces. Let's rewind to the 17th century. Scotland, an independent kingdom at the time, was dreaming big. They saw their neighbors, England and Spain, getting rich from colonies across the ocean, and they wanted a piece of the action. So, they hatched a bold plan, the Darien Scheme. The idea was to establish a colony in modern-day Panama, right on the Darien Gap, strategically. It was genius. They would build a trading post connecting the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, creating a global commerce hub that would make Scotland a world superpower, with national pride soaring. Scots from all walks of life poured their savings into the project. It's estimated that nearly a quarter of all the money circulating in Scotland was invested. In 1698, 5 ships set sail, carrying over 1,000 hopeful settlers, ready to build their new world, which they named New Caledonia. They arrived to a landscape of breathtaking beauty and brutal reality. This wasn't a land waiting to be tamed. The Darien Gap was, and still is, one of the most inhospitable places on Earth. The air was thick with humidity and swarming with disease-carrying mosquitoes. Their European crops withered and died in the tropical soil. The colonists, unprepared for the relentless heat and torrential rain, started falling sick with malaria and yellow fever. Building their settlement, Fort St. Andrew, was a nightmare. Tools rusted, supplies rotted, and morale plummeted. They had hoped to trade with the local indigenous people, the Kuna, but communication was difficult, and the promised trade riches never materialized. To make matters worse, they had settled on land claimed by the Spanish Empire, who were not at all happy about their new neighbors. Spanish forces blockaded the colony, cutting off any hope of receiving supplies by sea. Even their fellow Europeans betrayed them. Pressured by Spain, English colonies in the Americas were forbidden from helping the struggling Scots. Trapped between a hostile jungle and a hostile empire, the colony was doomed. Within just 8 months, the survivors abandoned New Caledonia, leaving behind a ghost town and hundreds of graves. A second expedition, unaware of the first's failure, arrived shortly after, only to meet the same tragic fate. By the year 1700, the dream was dead. The failure was catastrophic for Scotland. The nation was bankrupt, its spirit broken. This financial ruin was a key factor that pushed Scotland into the Acts of Union with England in 1707, forming the Kingdom of Great Britain. Today, the Darien Gap remains largely unconquered. It's the only break in the Pan-American Highway, the network of roads that stretches from Alaska to Argentina. No road has ever been built through its dense jungle, treacherous swamps, and rugged mountains. It remains a lawless frontier, home to unique wildlife, indigenous communities, and, unfortunately, smugglers and armed groups. The story of the Darien Scheme is a powerful reminder of nature's raw power and a humbling lesson in human ambition. It shows how a patch of jungle, through its sheer wildness, altered the course of history, swallowed a nation's fortune, and ended the dream of a Scottish empire. It's a jungle that refused to be conquered, and its story is etched into the very fabric of the world we live in today. Thanks for watching. If you found this piece of forgotten history fascinating, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories you won't find in the textbooks. See you next time.